Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning to each and every one of you. It is 9/6, that's September 6th, I think it is. 7 a.m. Central Time. Let's get into it. This is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. Very, very interesting time. I'm leaning more towards more downside in the digital asset space for sure. That is some very, very, very interesting stuff, to say the least. Interesting thing, Coin Bureau did a really, really good video I want to share with you guys today. Shout out to Coin Bureau. Most of the times I don't agree with the stuff that he says, but it's very, very interesting what he's saying here about the push from the banking regulators utilizing the SEC as a weapon and to essentially find mechanisms and avenues to exclude retail investors from the digital asset space, right? We say it on this channel all the time, right? They want us back in their liquidity pool, right? Because the onset of digital asset space allowed you and I to walk away from their liquidity pool. That, my friends, that's the real deal. That is the real fight. And they will try to make a push as much as they can to do this whole accredited investor stuff, to take the vast, vast majority of retail investors out of this space. That is what they're trying to do. We'll see if they can get it done, but that's what they're trying to do. Push the vast majority of retail investors out, limited to solely accredited investors, places like the Dutch, Netherlands, the Dutch in that area there try to do the same thing. Thailand's looking to do it as well. So understand where the real war is, You got to get that. And it is the banking regulators utilizing hashtag Gary Gensler is not your friend to do their bidding, to take your crypto and access to your crypto away. Let's get into this market. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.05 trillion. The Bitcoin dominance is, wow, under 37%. Interesting. 36.5% for Bitcoin dominance now. Bitcoin is currently trading at $19,903. Ethereum is at $1,667. And XRP is at 33.5 cents. The 7 days are pretty mixed between some greens and some reds. Again, Ethereum Classic, 20% on the 7 days. Just interesting to me. Who's trading Terra Luna Classic? I don't know, but somebody's up 200%. Interesting stuff, to say the least. So guys, listen, the market is doing what the market does. Let's get into a couple of things here. I do think it's important. A lot of people talking about settlements and things like that. We've said from the beginning of this lawsuit, right? A settlement has to happen. The SEC cannot afford an L. Ripple wants to IPO without question, but they don't want to do so without clarity of their biggest asset, and their biggest asset and commitment. The biggest commitment is to the digital asset XRP. So if the SEC is not going to give them that clarity from whether the settlement moving forward, if they're not going to get that clarity in XRP, it not being a security, or it started as a security and now it's a note, that whatever kind of clarity that Ripple wants, it's not what the SEC is willing to give, it's what Ripple wants. If Ripple doesn't get the clarity that they want, there is no settlement. Period, point blank, end of discussion. If Ripple doesn't get the clarity that it wants, it will go to the end. If that has to mean it goes to the Supreme Court, it will. That's the bottom line to that for sure. Let me share something from Coin Bureau. He did a very, very interesting video I wanted to share with you guys. Take a listen to this.
There's a problem though, and that's that commercial banks can't offer mid-cap and retribution. most of which will inevitably result in retail investors like you and me having even less access to cryptocurrencies and all the different ways you can trade them. What's even more concerning is that this will make it that much more difficult for new crypto projects to get off the ground, since they'll be more exclusive to accredited investors than ever before. Not only that, but it will be even more difficult for quality crypto projects to be created, because all of them will have massive pre-mines, with most of the supply going to VCs and early investors. In short, cutting retail investors out of the crypto market could do serious damage to the potential of the entire industry, and this begs the question of where this push to remove retail investors is coming from, and what you can do to keep your head in the game for as long as possible. If you watched our video about the top 10 crypto partnerships from last year, you might recall that New York Digital Investment Group, or NYDIG, and the National Cash Register, or NCR, entered a partnership to make it possible for commercial banks in the US to offer cryptocurrency investing and trading. This partnership happened because commercial banks could see that billions of dollars were flowing from their balance sheets into cryptocurrency exchanges, something they aren't happy about, because playing with the money you've deposited in the bank is how commercial banks make their money. Commercial banks thought that offering cryptocurrency—
That, my friends, is the long and the short of it. Again, and I'm going to share with you something, again, where I believe the real fight is going to take place, and that is going to be between commercial banks and central banks. Remember, James Wallace, the VP there at Ripple, had mentioned about the money that's currently out there, how much of it comes from central banks, how much of it comes from commercial or your local banks. The vast majority comes from your commercial and your local retail banks, regional banks, right? The central banks want to change that. They want to change that dynamics. There's good and bad to what the central banks want to do. You got to understand that there is a good and a bad to what the central banks want to do. We do have to recognize that and make sure that we push to limit the bad part of what the central banks want to do. My guy Simon Dixon has stated more than once the war is going to be between the central banks and the other banks, the commercial banks of the world. Now, it's very, very important to understand that so that we know where we stand and we can prepare for all of the scenarios. Anthony Welfare shared a very, very interesting video. I'm not sure if we've seen this before, but I wanted to share with you guys. Learn more about Ripple CBDC solution. This is supposed to be part 2, built on a private ledger, which is based upon XRP ledger technology, a proven blockchain which has closed over 70 million blocks over the course of 10 years. Take a listen to this. Start this from the beginning.
Redeem it, and through a standard API and multiple SDKs, integration into existing systems is simplified and suitable for traditional and non-traditional participants. Additionally, the central bank can issue other assets and allow participants like commercial banks to do so. The central bank can also authorize who holds the currency on the ledger, whether that's held directly by consumers or through commercial banks. Transactions typically settle in seconds compared to days, making CBDCs suitable for use cases like retail point of sale. This can open the door for real-time salary payments and collection of tax at point of sale, which gets funds to an institution or a consumer faster while eliminating debt risks. CBDC data is fully controlled and auditable by a central bank, allowing for its analysis in support of monetary policy. And the data maintains transaction privacy while still allowing for regulators to monitor for criminal activities. Finally, a Ripple-designed CBDC can provide a means to bridge disparate currencies through XRP. Its inherent interoperability can allow for connection with other central bank ledgers for efficient cross-asset and cross-border transactions. This can be done with cross-issuance, using XRP as a bridge currency or via cross-ledger communication protocols. This reduces the risk that institutions are forced to accept when transacting across multiple networks or currencies in the current system. The creation of a CBDC provides powerful benefits for the economy and people of an adopting central bank. It's technology that places trust in digital money in the hands of a central bank that can guarantee accessibility to funds and the resulting services.
So there it is right there. That's exactly what Simon Dixon from Bank to the Future, co-founder of BNK2thefuture.com. Highly recommend you check them out. Highly, highly recommend that you check that dude out, do your homework, do your due diligence. Very, very smart guy. Has been around in the digital asset space, former investment banker, and been around in the digital asset space since I think 2010 or 11. Really, really sharp guy in my humble opinion, guys. So just there it is. You know, Ripple understands that there's going to be this war, if you will, between the central banks and commercial banks, if you will. And again, the percentage of money in the space in the world is the vast majority comes from the commercial banks. And the war, I think, is going to play out, and that the central banks will begin to take that percentage down and grab some of the market share, not completely wiping out the commercial banks, I don't think, but certainly taking a share and probably a lion's share of that space. All right, guys, listen, this wraps up your XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. If it's been of value to you, do me a favor, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. And please don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you know when we go live or when we do upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this.
Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.